Qlik Dork back again, and this video is for this post that I created called Visualizing Dimensional Relationships. What I'm going to do is walk you through exactly how I set up the decomposition tree, and this is an extension by AnyChart that I refer to inside of the blog, but I wanted to give you a little bit more detail so you could visually see how easy and interactive this thing is. If you go to their website, AnyChart.com, you can find this extension called the Decomposition Tree, and you're able to start a free trial and begin using this on your own. It's part of a whole suite of tools. Not going to show you all the other extensions right now, but did want you to know you're able to download this and try it out yourself. No problem. One of the things that I don't show as part of my blog in images is the fact that you can color code different dimensions that you use. And one of the things that I wanted to show you, I point out how they can use what they call AI splits, where you can easily say, hey, show me the top performer, show me the worst performer. And that could be across any of the dimensions. In my visualization, I only have a couple of dimensions, and they were obvious. They were hierarchical. But in this particular case, I'm looking at customer type, and when I click on this button, like is in my example in the documentation, and then I'll walk you through in my video here in a second, I can choose to say, show me the least impacting city, and I can see this dashed line down here, which may or may not be visible on the screen at that point in time. I don't have to use that AI split as my very first dimension if that's not what I want to do, and I've got a bunch of things like this. So let's go ahead and jump back to the application so you can see this in process. So the nice thing about this is I'm looking at this, ooh, I got a KPI, ooh, wow, I see my billings, right? Well, I'm going to come through here and we're going to look at this hierarchical. I want to see my division name. What divisions are bringing in the billings? One of the things I pointed out that's different than this in a Sankey diagram is notice that I'm not using height as part of what makes it bigger or smaller. I'm using more of a progress bar chart type appearance here so that I can see the dimension names. I don't want to lose track of those things. While I'm analyzing this, of course I can choose to say, you know what, let's dig deeper into brown ale, but maybe it's not brown ale that I'm more concerned about. Maybe I run our pale ale division, and so now I want to look at pale ale rather than brown ale as part of it. Well, while I'm looking at the sales locations, I can see the relationship as to which of these locations is selling the most, and I can also quickly know this is not all of it because I don't have a bar from brown ale. So this isn't all that I've sold out of Philadelphia. It's just the pale ale that I've sold in Philadelphia. Maybe I want to look deeper into that location, and I want to see, hey, what products am I selling from Philadelphia from our pale ale division? Now I know what you're thinking. What about all products? Well, let's take a look at all my products and then look at the locations they're sold from instead. You know what? Golly, that's not really what I want to do. I wanted to go back and I really did want to look at brown ale, and I want to see the sales location, and maybe it's Paris that I want to walk through to look at these things. Now, I can come back here, and one of the things that I showed you in text-wise was this ability to look at these splits. I want to see the highest impact of this thing. And so now I've got this little light bulb telling me you're now looking at something where I've got that line showing you. Well, now I might want to take a look at pale ale. I want to see the lowest impact for pale ale by location. And I can see that that dashed line is going to point out, this is Denver. I've got 100 as a value. Infinitesimally small compared to Philadelphia, but I'm not going to lose track of that in any way because of this nice split that's showing me this line. Notice when I started looking at parallel, it also says, hey, that's great you're looking at parallel. Here's the dashed line to make sure I know that's really the one that had the highest impact on my billings. And again, if I had more values here, there's going to be arrows up or down for these things so that I could see them all. And that dash line would remind me, even though I might be just looking at Stout now as the top, that's not really the top of the list. So I love that thing. Hopefully you can understand the value of this decomposition tree for seeing the relationship between the dimensions. Not only do I get to see in each column what I would see in any one particular bar chart or pie chart, you pick your favorite chart type for these things, I'm getting to see the relationship with them without ever losing the context. I'm not selecting parallel. I'm simply choosing to dive deeper into the visualization for parallel without ever losing anything in context. So I know, hey, this is fantastic, but this really isn't all my billings for the company. Right? That's a small section of what I've got overall. Hope you've enjoyed this. Hope you download that decomposition tree, because I'm really fired up about this thing's ability to help you visualize the dimensional relationships that you have in your data. Because as you're moving from KPIs to operational key results, OKRs instead, you're going to need ways that you can visualize relationship. Have a great day.